first of all, the 1964 undefeated team, the last team that was undefeated in Kings Mountain up until this year. Tell us a little bit about the 1964 team.
Well, they, as well as I remember, they had like 26 seniors, and most of them had started at least 2 years, maybe a few of them since their sophomore year. Now some of these same guys went 9-0-1 the year before in '63, but they didn't have sudden death back then.
A tie was a tie.
Yeah, a tie was a tie. And well, I take that back. They did have it was a sudden death, but it was still went into the record books as a tie.
Okay. And
we kicked the field goal, and then on 4th down and like 14, Shelby scored a touchdown, beat us 6-3 in the overtime period.
So the score during regulation was 0-0.
7-7.
7-7. Okay.
I might be wrong, but I think they drove down the field on the first possession and scored. And then Steve Baker returned the kick like 85 yards to tie it up, and then never scored again.
Now, on that '64 team, there were several players, or several young men that went on and played football following college.
Oh yeah, Pat Murphy was a great quarterback at Appalachian. He held their passing records up there for several years. And of course, everybody's wide open now. They throw more than they run, it seems.
Yeah.
It's been broken in the last, 8 or 10 years or so. But Hubert McGinnis played college. Ronnie Ray, Lynn Cheshire, and probably one or two, Jim Cloninger. And he was at Appalachian with Murphy. And there could have been one or two more that I'm not thinking about. But one of the players on that team, Richard Gold, opted to play baseball in college and was an first team All-American at Florida State.
So that team was loaded with good athletes.
Real good athletes.
So now we're going to move on to 1998. Now, I was not here in '64, and you graduated from high school that same year, correct?
I graduated in June before the
football season. But in 1998, I got to observe Ron Massey's team that ended up going 9-1 in the regular season, and then 14-2 overall. Give me some highlights from that season.
Well, Anthony Hillman was a really good running back, and one of the best we've ever had. They had people up front like, his name just left me. Kareem Marshall
was one of them.
Yeah. And he played at Georgia,
Right.
And Julius Curry was up front, and several others that went on and played at the next level. And they were really good.
A couple of the other folks, or a couple of things that I remember from that season. I know when Hillman scored that touchdown against Kannapolis, I mean, they were going crazy up there. They thought they had that thing won, and with 33 seconds to go, he breaks one from about 18 yards, and it was like the Red Sea. It parted, and we ended up winning 26-20.
Yeah. Somewhere I've still got a picture of that because I was standing behind the end zone, and they made a hole as wide as this room here for him to run through.
In other words, you or I don't know if we'd have made it 15 yards, but we could have got through the hole.
Well, they'd have called us pretty quick.
Another thing that I remember of that season was Concord, the game that we played at Kings Mountain in order to go to the state championship. And I can remember some of the folks that I knew, they parked at the Winn-Dixie, which is now where the Walmart's at, and walked to the stadium. It was that many people there that night. Could have been the largest crowd we've ever had.
Yeah, it definitely one of the largest.
Yeah.
And, I tell you, that was a good team.
Yes, it was. And you know, the interesting thing, the blocks outside of the loss to Winston-Salem-Carver, which we led most of the game and ended up losing right at the end, and even had a chance to come back. And a tremendous hit caused the kid to drop the ball, and that was the end of the game. But the game up that we lost during the regular season against Freedom, we led the whole game there, and it was kind of like a play. I can remember Ron Massey calling a timeout to set it up. We had one timeout, and he told the kids, don't go out of bounds, and our quarterback they bumped him out of bounds and stopped the clock, and they got the ball back and was able to kick a field goal to beat us.
Yeah.
Up in Freedom. Now on to this year. You're the great prognosticator. I know we're at halftime now. We're not sure what's going on tonight because this is pre-recorded. But West Charlotte tonight, and then if it falls, we've got three more games to then get to the state. So what's your thoughts? 2 more games to get to the state.
I think we've got a good chance, but when you get past the second round, everybody's going to be good.
Yeah.
We're not going to be winning 42-0, I don't think.
Yes, I think you're right there. And we got East Lincoln on the horizon, which has been scoring a lot. I don't know how good they are, but they've been scoring a lot against their opponents. And then West Henderson is the number 2 seed behind us, and they came back an impressive victory on last Friday night. They came back to win their ball game.
Yeah, and a team that is still in it is South Point.
Yes.
And I don't want to play them again. But I don't like to play the same team twice.
Yeah.
We might blow them out. We might not, but I just don't like to see the same team twice.
And they took it to Dudley last week, 74 points against Dudley, who was the reigning 3A champion, and defeated Kings Mountain last year in our final game of 2021.
Yeah. And Dudley, I don't know. I've not seen any film on them or anything, but I've been told that they're not as, still pretty potent on offense, but they have a hard time on defense.
Well, and graduation changes things a lot in high school.
Yeah.
Well, Gary, it's been good chatting with you. Thanks for stopping by. Continue to write good things. I hope you have several more weeks of writing about Kings Mountain High School football.
I sure hope so.
Good night. Ends our halftime report, and go Mountaineers.